and welcome to the NewsX Sunday Garden Roundtable. Well, today we're taking a look at the Congress party because if you're looking at opposition politics and national politics, the Congress is a party that cannot be ignored. And of late, it has been doing, I think, making moves in the right direction and making sure that it is relevant when we talk about the political discourse. It has the recent win in Karnataka has given it a fillip. The three state elections that are coming, at least two out of those three are supposed to go the Congress way, as far as the pollsters are saying. So it does look as if the Congress is getting a leg to stand on. But if you take a closer look at what is happening in the Congress, most of these wins are coming because of local leaders at the regional level. Karnataka win was largely because of the local leadership. Himachal was again because there was a local presence and local issues were taken care of. The central leadership kept out of the campaign. Can the same pattern be repeated in Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh? There are strong leaders in all these three states also. So my larger question today is the Congress now becoming a party of regional chieftains, regional leaders, where the central leadership is moving more and more to the side instead of being the center that holds the party together, like in the BJP? So this is something I'm going to be opening up for my panelists today. Joining me on the conversation is Neerja Chaudhary. She is a political analyst, senior journalist, and a columnist. Rashid Kidwai, author of 24 Akbar Road, political analyst and columnist. Tehseen Poonawalla, he's a Congress sympathizer and, of course, a senior advocate also. And someone who we have on the show very often because he also has an inside view on what is happening within the Congress party. Tehseen, first I want you to hear what Neerja and Rashid have to say, and then we'll hear. But Neerja, first your take on this premise that I've just outlined.
You know, I want to recount a conversation I had with a very senior BJP leader about a year and a half ago. And I said to him, suppose you were given the task of reviving the Congress party, what would you do? And you know, I was surprised with his answer. He said, I would put my money on the older guard in every state, the older veteran leadership, not the younger people. But I said, the younger people, it's a young India. He said, then I would go for, you know, a different set of younger people. He obviously had regard for the older set and not so much for the younger people, of course, many of whom had left the Congress party to join the BJP. So Congress today becoming more of a federated party, which is the direction it needed to go in. You know, give freedom, autonomy to whether it's a Huda in Haryana, whether it's a Siddaramaiah, a bit power sharing with D.K. Shivakumar in Karnataka, whether it's Kamal Nath in Madhya Pradesh or Baghel in Chhattisgarh, or Gehlot faces problems because you have an almost equal in Sachin Pilot, who's also made his place in Rajasthan. So those are problems that the Congress needs to sort out. But a federated party is the way to go, as opposed to a very strong leader, charismatic leader, popular leader with power concentrated in his hands in the BJP. And if the Congress thinks of, you know, an alternative to Modi, or the opposition thinks of an alternative chehra to Modi, then I think that is the BJP would like it to, you know, would like to entrap it in that direction. So I think this is the right direction for the Congress to be going in. But how it solves the problems of, and of course, you know, they are taking a leaf out of, all these leaders are taking a leaf out of Modi's book. There is Hinduism, Hindu-ness that they are emphasizing on. Kamal Nath with having got this small outfit, Bajrang Sena, into the Congress, coming across as a Hanuman Bhatt himself, and social welfareism in a big way in all these states. So they're getting their formula right. And a very important factor which is helping, I feel, is Rahul Gandhi seems to have decided to take a back seat. He's not pushing himself forward in a decisive lead role. He's allowing Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge, the Congress president, to be in the lead. Even when they have a meeting, you know, he'll let Kharge go first. They'll meet in Kharge's house rather than in Rahul Gandhi's house. So all these are interesting
Rahul
things.
Gandhi doesn't have a house. So I knew Satyasi was going to say that.
अब तो घर भी नहीं है. That's right. अब तो घर भी नहीं है.
Modi's helped these optics by taking away the
Yeah,
house.
so, but that has created sympathy. That is, I'm in the very remote corner of my Himachal Pradesh and talking to the rural folk here. The fact that MPship was taken away from him, he was put out of the house, has created an element of sympathy for him. Incidentally, Priya, I want to just do a little strike a different note. In Himachal Pradesh, a lot of people talk about Priyanka's campaigning having helped. Apart from the old pension scheme, which worked with the government servants, a lot of people talk of that also.
In fact, that's something that Tehseen has also been talking about, the power and the pull of Priyanka Gandhi, but I know he'll go on to it later. But first, I want to get Rashid in. Rashid, what Neerja has said, role of Kharge, what role Rahul is playing now, and the local leadership, if you can comment on that.
Yeah, so I think Priya, the Congress has to be very careful, of its own kind of, cadre, leaders, and the kind of gatekeepers, the kind of loyalists it has. That's like Neerja ji has mentioned a lot of points, and all of them are relevant. But it's also some come in the form of a quicksand. You look at the Rahul's popularity rating going up to 27%, etc., as opposed to Narendra Modi's 47%. Obviously, a section of Congress for ulterior motives or a genuine admiration for Rahul would want to, make him as a kind of some kind of prime ministerial candidate and have 2024 elections as Modi versus Rahul Gandhi. Now, this is something that would put off a lot of regional players like Mamata Banerjee, KCR, Akhilesh Yadav, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, etc. So this is a point number one. Point number two is about rise of Priyanka Gandhi as an effective campaigner, which is a welcoming gesture. I saw it in Jabalpur. It's happening all over the country. Again, this narrative that brother sister are not really a competition, but are two people who are very capable in their own way, very different way. But how to kind of synchronize their and have some kind of synergy rather than have some kind of two camps. Third thing comes about what Neerja ji said, about old pension scheme. We have people like Praveen Chakrabarti who are very influential, who are part of, so to say, team Rahul, team Jairam Ramesh, team Congress, and they write, in mainstream newspapers opposing old pension scheme. So the Congress has a recipe for, disaster. I think Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi, they are essentially very sanskari in nature. So according respect to the office of Congress President and to the age and experience of Mallikarjun Kharge comes very naturally. But in this negotiation, in the talks, next 6 months going to be very crucial. One last point about this Hindutva, that kind of religious outreach program. Remember, Priya, this was discussed last year in May at Udaipur, and Congress party has given, party leaders, regional leaders full freedom to have this kind of thing. But this also has its own, limitations, because India is a very pluralistic country and it varies from state to state. So Congress has to be very careful how it does, because ultimately in 2024 Lok Sabha election, it has to be a very different. It cannot be a clone of the BJP.
That's the problem. Also, the Congress, if it doesn't do the Hindutva politics, then it polarizes the votes. Then it becomes like totally two camps, Hindu Muslim. But if it does some soft Hindutva, then it becomes a B team, of the BJP, or So it's a very difficult trap. But first, the leadership question, Tehseen.
Thank you so much. So I broadly agree with what Neerja ji said. Absolutely on track with her. I think, and as I keep repeating, the Congress has discovered a formula to win state elections. I'll come to Lok Sabha. It's discovered a formula. The formula is strong regional leadership, a strong organization which is united. Both Karnataka and Himachal, while Himachal, there were certain problems in Karnataka. By and large, the organization was united. BJP had more problems in those two state units. Therefore, they could also have resources to fight elections. And on top of it, the icing on the cake was Priyanka Gandhi Vadra in state elections. Now, please understand that the Honorable Prime Minister has not been able to attack Priyanka ji. So there has been a role of the central leadership. I don't agree with you. Central leadership had no role in both Karnataka and Himachal. Even Kharge ji, for that matter, had role in Karnataka. The only thing in Karnataka where I thought the Congress made one slight mistake was the Bajrang Dal issue. And I've told, in fact, the other day I was talking to DK Shivkumarji, and all the top Congress leaders in Karnataka agree. Had that not come in the manifesto, the Congress was crossing 140. It got restricted to 136 because of that Bajrang Dal thing, because it lost 4 or 5 seats. So that mistake should not happen. Now in Madhya Pradesh, that mistake must not be repeated, which is where we come to now. Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. Congress is winning both Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. Madhya Pradesh, mark my words, 151 plus for the Congress, as long as Sri Digvijay Singh ji does not make any comments. I am being very, very clear. I don't mince my words. Rashid ji knows I'm not in the party. I have nothing to lose. So please don't make comments. Please don't attack the Prime Minister personally. Please don't make personal remarks. And the Congress is home through. But that does not mean you're winning Lok Sabha 2024. In 2017, the Congress ran the BJP very close in Gujarat. It restricted them initially to below 3 digits. It formed a government in Karnataka, won Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan. Yet it did not win the government. Lok Sabha, the Honorable Prime Minister brings in an X factor. It's a vote for Modi ji. I always tell Congress leaders, if Modi ji can make Eknath Shinde the Chief Minister, wo apne aap ko to Pradhan Mantri zarur banayegi. Let's be practical. The man's not going to give up without a fight. So it does not mean some of the luminaries' names who Rashid ji took and who believe that you're winning 2024 is not a done deal. 2024 is a different battle, a different ground. What the Congress needs to do in 2024 is build smart coalition. In 2019, the one difference, and I say this and I know I'm going to get told, is the BJP built better coalition than the Congress built. Build good coalitions and the Congress will have a great fight in 2024, but build coalitions. But yes, the state elections are the momentum.
Okay. Build great coalitions, but then who would be, is Kharge emerging to be Rahul Gandhi's Manmohan Singh, or will it be Bhupesh Baghel? In terms of leadership, it has to be someone other than Rahul Gandhi, because
Definitely not, in my opinion. Again, this is my humble opinion. I don't hold any position. I'm just speaking as an outsider. 2 senior people are there to correct me. In my opinion, even a Kharge ji, who is the president of Congress, would have more, would be a better bridge builder than Nitish ji at the moment, because Nitish ji has gone with BJP time and again. So in my opinion, you have somebody who everyone can talk to. Number 2, somebody like Kapil Sibal can play a good role, because he's the lawyer for all opposition chief ministers. See, you trust nobody more than, you trust nobody more than your lawyer, right? So he can, and Kapil ji, unlike Ghulam Nabi Azad, has never attacked the Gandhis after leaving. He's been very, very graceful. So you bring in people who can build a bridge and keep contentious issues out. Kamal Nath again, he has good relations with everybody. So use people like this. My one advice to the Congress has been, and I continue to tell the Congress, trust your own people who've been there for generations. Outsiders, sometimes we give them too much importance. The problem is the organization gets weakened. You've seen that in Madhya Pradesh, you've seen that in Punjab, you've seen that in other states. Trust your own people more than outsiders.
We've seen that with Rahul's team at Tughlaq Road also. But Rashid wanted to come in something.
Yeah, very quickly. I think, the idea of Kapil Sibal is as bad as, Digvijay Singh coming into picture. Mr. Kapil Sibal has no control over his, remarks.
Yes.
They may be very, good for the headlines and all, but they are bad. They're bad for politics. They're bad for the Congress. So I think there is no place. I think the idea that's what I'm saying, that mindset that Mr. Tehseen Punewala is exhibiting, that it should be Kamal Nath ji, it should be, Mallikarjun Kharge ji, etc., is reeks of that kind of thing. Ke hamare baap dada ne ghee khaya hai, hamari hateli subo. See, fact of the matter is the Congress has to cross 100 Lok Sabha seats, 125 Lok Sabha seats. Neerja ji knows, she's with us. So, in 1977, nobody was projected as a prime minister. In 1989 also, for that matter, nobody was a prime minister. In 1996 also, there was no prime minister. What's the hurry to have a prime ministerial face? Why can't, opposition hold horses and see? If Congress ends up getting, 65, 75 Lok Sabha seats, I mean, if at all, so I'm saying it is not going to, make it look. So therefore, I'm saying the Congress has to have a very reasonable, kind of, demands and expectation that they get very easily carried by this.
Okay, I want to bring Neerja quickly.
No, I have a lot of Rashid ji is, of course, he's much more experienced than me. I never said Kharge ji or Kamal Nath ji should be projected as prime minister. I said hold him for negotiations, and the reason I said include Kapil Sibal is because the trust factor. He's fighting for the opposition. Everyone. He's fighting for BRS. He's fighting for all the opposition,
Akhilesh.
Tejasvi, Akhilesh. Therefore, you need somebody who can negotiate. I'm not saying Kapil Sibal should be your only face. I'm saying along with Kharge ji, have somebody from your team. Nitish ji has gone to BJP number of times. Nitish ji broke the. I have a lot of respect for Nitish ji, but we were the Congress government when Nitish ji went to BJP.
Okay.
It's just a practical suggestion.
Great. But neither not okay. I agree. It's too early. We were not really talking prime minister faces, but building coalition faces. But the local leadership issue within the Congress will, for instance, Madhya Pradesh is the classic example also where Kamal Nath has been given a free hand. And if the state wins, I think all of us will agree that it is largely because of Kamal Nath, whether it is his funding, his tenacity, he stayed on the ground ever since his chief ministership was was taken away from him. So there is a lot that he's bringing to the table more than I said the central leadership is in Madhya Pradesh. And
Of
same
course.
with
Of course, and as was the case in Karnataka, before the central leadership towards the end, Rahul and Priyanka and Sonia Gandhi went to campaign. The deal was really done. And Kamal Nath has done a U-turn on that, calling for a ban of Bajrang Dal. He said that is not something we are going to go in for. So he's done a corrective there.
And he has the tallest statue of Hanuman in his constituency.
That's
he does
right.
the aerial parikrama in Chinwara every time.
That's right. So that is the way he's known. But I would say again, for the opposition, leadership is not the issue to go for. I think they rightly are saying one-on-one contests in the constituency. In fact, Nitish Kumar should concentrate in the 54 constituencies in Bihar and Jharkhand, one-on-one. After all, Nitish Kumar is not going to have a role in Bengal if Congress is to have some kind of a tie-up with Mamta's party. It's going to be only Mamta. Stalin is not going to have a role there. So every state satrap is going to have to work out their arrangement. So this phalanx of opposition leaders is only optics. In terms of substantive politics, they are not going to be able to influence each other's state. So why get into this? If at all they're in a position to form the government, it'll be whoever is best placed after the election. Don't get into it before the election. But I think otherwise, to get their alternative narrative right, to get their, in a way that's understood by ordinary people, that is much more in terms of policy changes. And I think a lot of Tehsin mentioned Kapil Sibal. He's doing a lot of thinking on that kind of thing. I do know. And I think the Gandhi family, in terms of prime ministership, I think Rahul is moving very well of late. And from all accounts, I don't know whether this is true or not, others may be in a position to confirm, he's told the opposition leaders, I'm not going to be in the reckoning for 2024. So you go ahead and forge this opposition unity. And if the Congress can, have that target of 100 seats, and even if the Congress can bring down the tally of BJP by 70 seats, the game will change. It will be a coalition government, and it will be different rules applying to that government.
I think the BJP is also sensing that, because it's also reaching out to its old allies, the Akali Dal, and maybe even Nitish Kumar. But the role of Kharge, how do you see Mallikarjun Kharge role in vis-a-vis keeping harmony in the local leadership? He played a role in DK Shivkumar, Rashid, as you yourself were telling us also in another show. He's trying to sort the Gehlot pilot issue. How do you rate Kharge as someone who can keep peace within the organization? Rashid Kidwai.
Yeah, so I think Kharge is the right person, the right place and all, but he is still, again, I'm saying that when it comes to, it's all very easy. What Neerja ji has said is absolutely spot on. It's all very easy to be doing these things, but when it comes to this, we remember that there was in 1996, there was an alliance between the Congress and the BSP, which Jitendra Prasad and P.V. Narasimha Rao had forged. And I remember Neerja ji was also there, that 24 Akbar Road, there was a press conference. And finally, you see, Mr. Rao, who was the Prime Minister, he kept quiet when somebody, I think Neerja ji or somebody asked that how many seats Congress would be contesting. And there was a silence. And then Kashiram ji got up and he said that, we'll be contesting on 300 plus seats. The Congress will be contesting on 125 seats. So, when I went there, so somebody was, reciting a share ki, अब तो from some UP Congress leader, अब तो इतनी भी मैसर नहीं मैखाने में जितनी छोड़ दिया करते थे हम पैमाने में. problem. Now, Mr. Kharge, right man, right place, all these things I can go on saying. See, if he ends up, if the Congress ends up contesting less than 250 Lok Sabha seats, if we look at Bengal, we look at Tamil Nadu, we look at Bihar, we look at Uttar Pradesh, and several such states where the Congress is, Telangana, Andhra, Delhi, Punjab, the Congress is almost Gujarat, zero. Then what happens is that, see, if you're fighting for 250 seats, they're going to, best scenario is going to get just 100, 110, 120, best scenario I'm saying. So this is the thing. Then again, that Paimana and Makhana will come in. So I'm saying the Congress, you see, attitude, that, the disillusion, the grandeur of the, past, it's the biggest obstacle. They can't get real for sure. And if they get real, then obviously their loyalty and all is not at a premium.
That is true. And that was also the Panchmari debate also, to go with allies or to lose a few elections, but keep your grassroots base and stable. I'm going to continue this conversation, but after a very quick break. So stay with us. Hello and welcome back to the NewsX Sunday Guardian Roundtable. We are taking a look at the Congress, at its leadership model and the current model, which actually seems to be working, at least where the state elections are concerned. But how will it translate during the central general elections is the question that we're all talking about, the question of alliances. And I know Tehseen wants to come in on the debate that was happening so far. So Tehseen.
No, because we're talking about Paimana and Mehkana, I'll just say that Congress has to realize its unique position. Teri महफिल भी गए, चाहने वाले भी गए, आके बैठे भी न थे कि निकाले भी गए. So the Congress is not in the most enviable position. What the Congress must do, if it wants to put up a good fight in the Lok Sabha elections, it must, as Nija ji rightly said, fight on local issues, but on national issues, because national elections will have national issues. Will be employment, jobs. Speak on new generation jobs, speak about women empowerment, speak about development. Do not go to Hindu Muslim. The BJP will divert everything to Hindu Muslim. So the Congress must ask loudmouths to keep quiet. I remember recently in Karnataka, a new minister spoke about cow slaughter, and rightly so, Surjewala pulled him up and said, you cannot. The Congress must not fight on the issues the BJP wants to fight on. Rahul Gandhi's role must be, because Rashid ji is right, he does not want to be, at least he's sent out the message that he's at the moment not in the reckoning for Prime Minister, must be about how he can give a moral leadership and create jobs for the future. Nija ji was saying that students she interacted with, and I'm just going to take a little bit of the conversation, are interested in the future. So are people. 225,000 Indians have given up their citizenship. This year, over 23,000 high net worth individuals are expected to leave our country. Giving up their citizenship will happen over the next couple of years. Millionaires, billionaires, HNIs are giving up their citizenship, going to other countries. At the same time, you have the highest suicide rate because of lack of jobs. That is the BJP's Achilles heel. Don't go here, there. Speak on these issues, and the Congress may surprise you by even crossing 140. So please focus on this, and the Congress has a winning formula up to about 140. One more thing, there are 70 to 80 seats, 160 seats where there's a direct fight between the Congress and the BJP. States like Gujarat, the gap is too much to cover up. I agree, because the BJP is crossing 50% in a two-horse race. But the other states, 70 to 80 seats, the Congress can put up a very good fight. As Nirja ji rightly said, identify the local factors, identify them a year ago, declare your candidates, and go for the jugular. You have nothing to lose. You're already at the bottom. So change your approach a bit and you will make an impact.
Correct. On another show, I think Rashid was on the show also, we had Pawan Verma there, Nija, and he said on opposition unity, he made a very good point. He says they couldn't even unite on the vice president's election. So kya 2024 tak unity hogi? So, there is a lot to be covered, a lot of ground and very little time. And there is no Harkishan Singh Surjit kind of a figure to breach that gap. So how do you see this?
I think chhod do na opposition unity except at the Lok Sabha constituency level. Baki is, as I say, optics. Actually, in substantive term, it doesn't make a difference. What the mood that one sort of senses is economic hardship. People are hurting. Everywhere you go, they say our income has not gone up, but our expenses are going up. Prices are going up this way. So the people are hurting. And I think that's the narrative. And the Congress has already begun to shape it. The pro-poor, the pro-farmer narrative. Going back to its earlier mooring. And I find the Chhattisgarh model, what Mr. Bhupesh Baghel has done, very fascinating. Even selling cow dung for ₹2 a kilo. Now the poorest of the poor women are the ones who get that income in hand. And they're using it for a variety of purposes. A cow urine for 4 rupees a liter. You know, it's economic as well as he's dealt with the cow politics of the BJP. So,
Yes.
and also dealt with factionalism, unlike in Rajasthan. T.S. Singdev was nowhere. He was holidaying in Australia and New Zealand, the last we heard. So I think there are immense possibilities today. And I think that the Congress has the talent and the veteran leaders, and they are on to it. At least this is the sense one gets out of it. And certainly you cannot discount the Modi magic. We don't know how much ground that Modi has lost. He's almost, according to the CSDS survey, as popular as he was. The BJP is 2% more popular than last time, but the Congress has gained 10%. That also is the reality. So I think it's a situation in a state of flux with possibilities on both sides, and the BJP doesn't sit back for a minute. They will put correctives in place.
Yeah, that is the big thing. Whatever the opposition is doing, BJP is already working on, opposition still has to figure it out. But quickly, last word from Rashid and Tesim also. Rashid,
I think Priya, I would sum up my thoughts that it's all there. It's there in a platter, but the Congress has to be very judicious in terms of projection of Rahul Gandhi, projection of Priyanka Gandhi, working of alliances, picking of issues, the kind of blending of sort of majoritarianism with populism, and what kind of contents of populism. So it's very easy. It's an easy grab, but it's at the same time very difficult. One false move and the whole thing falls. So there is no dearth of congressmen who would say that if Rahul Gandhi's ratings are 27% and going to go up by 2024 30% or more, you don't know, the BJP may jack it up. So why not? This is the best chance of a young Tony Blair coming up in India, and go for it, go for the kill. Why do you want to have alliance coalitions and all, which have a very disastrous history and consequences? So therefore also I think the Congress has to be very real and hands-on and shed this kind of baggage of the past and illusion of grandeur, etc. And I think that's the biggest test. What the BJP does is all, to my mind, it's all secondary. It is the Congress has to work its arithmetic right.
Okay. Last words to Tesim, summing it up at the end of the day, I think what we've gathered is post-poll alliances perhaps may work better, and or have as just seat adjustments, as Nija was saying, go seat by seat in terms of, instead of a bigger pre-poll alliance.
Horses for courses. Don't go with one straight jacket fits all size. Play it by the year. Be generous in accommodating people on certain principles, but most importantly, be grounded. Remember, even in Karnataka, where the Congress swept, when the Prime Minister campaigned in Bangalore, the one area where the BJP increased its vote share, the Prime Minister brings in an X factor. He is, like Nirjaji said, his popularity has gone up, and he does have the trust of the people. He's like water on a duck's back; it does not stick. So don't make it personal about the Prime Minister. Speak about issues, and the Congress can easily cross 140. That does not mean that they will form the government. That means you'll have a weakened Prime Minister in the center, which means the Prime Minister will make even more mistakes than he's used to making, because he's not used to taking people along. The BJP is not used to consensus. So go for a strategy.
But the fact that we're having such a conversation also, I think, will bring some good cheer for the Congress, because a year ago everybody had kind of written them off. But clearly, the things are looking up for the Congress with the state elections. Can the center keep up the state momentum? That is something we need to see. But thank you all for this conversation. Thank you.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.